Today we're going to be testing 5 of the NBA's biggest what-ifs. Like, what if the CP3 trade went through? What if the 76ers chose Jimmy Butler over Tobias Harris? What if the Denver Nuggets never traded Donovan Mitchell? What if Derrick Rose never got injured? And what if LeBron James signed with the Warriors in the 2014 free agency? All right, so right now the year is 2011. The Los Angeles Lakers have made a successful trade for Chris Paul. Everyone's going crazy, and bro, I did not realize that I don't actually think this would have been a great trade for the Lakers. You lose Pau Gasol, you're entering the season with effectively nobody that can play the 4 spot, but you have Chris Paul and Kobe, which is pretty good. Andrew Bynum, at the time, we all thought was a stud. Nobody knew this was going to be his last decent season in the NBA. Like, after this man went on to do nothing. First thing the Lakers would do is definitely try to get some, forwards on this team. So Steve Blake for Jason Maxwell. This isn't a rebuild video, but history would definitely change based on what happened with these teams. I feel like starting the season with a starting lineup of Chris Paul, Kobe Bryant, Ron Artest, Max Seal, and Bynum would be solid in this time period, but it would not be great against OKC. But I don't know, maybe this Lakers team's gonna have it going. All right, let's see how we do. We're gonna simulate this regular season. Honestly, the Lakers are doing pretty solid. 13-4 to start out here, getting a lot of wins. Maybe I'm being a little too negative on this roster. Obviously, Chris Paul was the best point guard in the NBA by a mile at this point in time. And obviously, Kobe Bryant, one of the GOATs. I still am worried about how this team would stack up with the Miami Heat if they were to meet in the finals. In the Chris Paul trade, the Lakers were losing both Pau Gasol and Lamar Odom, which is why they have so little depth at that power forward spot after this trade. But it doesn't seem to matter here. So Derrick Rose ends up winning the MVP in this alternate reality. Kobe Bryant with an All-NBA first team. Chris Paul with an All-NBA second team. Lakers would finish 55-27. Kobe averaging 33, 7, and 3. Chris Paul with a clean 26 and 9. Andrew Bynum adding 13 points per game and almost 13 boards. In the playoffs, we would end up sweeping the Spurs, beating the Thunder in 6, beating the Clippers in 5, before losing to the Chicago Bulls in the NBA Finals 4-2. All right, bro, 4-2 in the NBA Finals. That is tough. I mean, the Bulls beat us by over 10 points in each game they won, so that's not very good. All right, so Chris Paul declined his player option. Dog if he leaves. So in real life, this was the offseason. The Lakers actually traded Andrew Bynum to the Sixers. Sixers traded Iguodala to the Nuggets. Dwight Howard was in this 4-team trade. He ended up on the Lakers. So if history repeated itself there, we got Chris Paul, Kobe, Ron Artest, Jerebko, Dwight Howard, Damari Carroll, Ronnie Turioff, Pachulia. We got a lot of centers coming off the bench with Carroll, man. We got to figure something out there. But with Dwight Howard in the lineup, this should be a pretty good team. In real life, Dwight Howard was having a lot of back issues with the Lakers, so I don't know if he would be this 93 overall version of himself, but I think this is like a title team right now. That is a big 3 that could definitely win the chip in this year. I don't even care who the role players are. Wow, yeah, this Lakers team is not catching any L's, bro. 12-0. And we're getting offered Jamal Crawford for Pachulia. That's a trade that just makes a lot of sense for a team that has a million centers on the roster and no guards. Wow, dude, we are 21-0. The Lakers might break the record for consecutive win streak. I think the record, they lost to the Nuggets. 25-1 though. I mean, this is a team that is now pushing for the win record. Maybe I was a little too low on this Chris Paul trade. Wow, just super dominant. 68 wins, 14 losses. That is crazy. The best record the Heat had with LeBron James was 66 wins. Chris Paul was the MVP in this scenario, 19 points, 5, and almost 12 assists a game. Dang, no Kobe on that first team, but Dwight Howard made it. Okay, yeah, playing with Chris Paul, I feel like even with a bad back, it would be a lot easier for Dwight. Steve Nash on the Lakers was not as good as Chris Paul obviously would have been. All right, round 1, they've got this Mavericks team. Kind of a tough one, but I feel like the Lakers would have this pretty handily. Lakers win in 5. Going against the Sacramento Kings, how did they make the playoffs? Isaiah Thomas, Tyreek Evans, Lamar Odom, and Tyreek Evans on the same team. That's a lot of drugs. All right, we got DeMarcus Cousins down there going against Dwight, and that is a 4-1 Lakers. Okay, Lakers going against OKC. This would be the matchup. I feel like OKC, maybe the size would be tough for OKC, but man, they still got Harden in this alternate reality. This is a tough series for the Lakers, but Lakers win in 6, going against the Chicago Bulls in a rematch of last year's finals. Bulls actually beat the Heat in this scenario, and the Lakers win the championship. So if the Lakers made the Chris Paul trade and they were able to pull off the Dwight Howard trade at the same time, championships, what would have happened? Let's check out a more recent what-if scenario. So in the bubble, the Nuggets played the Jazz in the first round, and the Nuggets came back down from 3-1, but to force a game 7, Jamal Murray scored 50 points against Donovan Mitchell, who put up 44 points. What's crazy though is the Nuggets drafted Donovan Mitchell, so we we've got a rookie Donovan Mitchell on the squad. We've got a second-year Jamal Murray, and we've got a baby Jokic. And look, we still got this old Nuggets team with Gallo, Wilson Chandler, Gary Harris. These guys are from the Carmelo trade. This is so old. And what's crazy is because those guys are all rookies and Jokic himself is still on a rookie deal, we can just bring in a guy like Zach Randolph if we're the Nuggets here, try to play the 4 and just become title contenders instantly. So Zach Randolph joins this Nuggets. All right, we're going to try to also bring on Zaza Pachulia for center depth behind Jokic. Boom. So in this first year of the Nuggets, we'd have Jamal Murray, Donovan Mitchell, Wilson Chandler, Zach Randolph, Nikola Jokic, and a pretty decent bench. I don't think this is like a title team right away. These guys are rookies, and obviously Donovan Mitchell was not the defensive player that they needed at the 2, but I think this team would just be dynamite on offense. In real life, this ended up being the bubble year where the Nuggets beat the Jazz and upset the Clippers before they lost to the Lakers in the conference finals. But the Nuggets were one Anthony Davis jump shot away from potentially making it to the NBA Finals, and a preview of how good Jokic was going to become. And yeah, Donovan Mitchell, if you guys remember, as a rookie was just a monster. He almost won Rookie of the Year. You could argue he should have won Rookie of the Year over Ben Simmons. LeBron James wins MVP for the Cavs. Our boy Jokic makes an All-NBA third team. And our Denver Nuggets are the number 2 seed with a 58-24 record. Sheesh. 5th best offense in the West. We'll take that. Round 1 matchup versus the Memphis Grizzlies, who we took Zach Randolph from. I feel bad for them. Nuggets win in 5. Going against the Clippers. But this is the CP3 Blake Griffin Clippers. That's actually quite a battle. I feel like Denver would take that, though. And we lose in 7. All right. Hey, Donovan Mitchell's rookie year. He's handling the ball a lot for us. It makes sense. And with the late draft pick, we're going to end up taking Grayson Allen for the Nuggets here. A guy who's supposed to be a great defensive player and a shooter. Just perfect next to Jokic. And with the extra cap space we have from not bringing back Jusuf Nurkic and not trading Jusuf Nurkic, we're going to bring on Otto Porter. We're going to bring back Gary Harris as well. So in year 2 of this arrangement, I mean, this is now looking like an amazing team. Jokic up to a 93, Murray up 86, Mitchell up to an 83. Good supporting cast, good defensive infrastructure around them. In real life, the Nuggets went 54-28 this year. I'm pretty sure we're going to beat that. All right, let's see how it goes. Yep, we definitely cleared 54 wins. We're already at 60. It looks like this team's going to finish in the mid-60s or the high 60s. Super dominant team. The title favorites, number 1 in the power rank. Just an incredible season. 70 wins! 70-12. Whoa! I honestly think this team's 3-point shooting ability with Donovan Mitchell, Jamal Murray, Jokic, I mean, this team actually would give teams just a headache with how dynamic they would be. Jokic, 24 a game. Murray, 18 a game. Donovan Mitchell, 14 a game. Honestly, I'm surprised Mitchell's not shooting it more. And we've got the Portland Trailblazers here in round 1. Damian Lillard's Trailblazers don't take a game off us. Memphis Grizzlies in round 2. It's still the Marc Gasol, Mike Conley Grizzlies. I'd be shocked if they take a game off us. Yeah, no. Minnesota Timberwolves. Is this the Jimmy Butler Wolves? Oh, surprise Timberwolves run to the finals, I guess, with Wiggins, Levine, Karl Towns. We beat them in 7. The Toronto Raptors. In real life, the Nuggets actually lost to Portland in round 2 of these playoffs, and the Raptors won the championship. But in alternate reality, the Raptors still win the championship. Not even with Kawhi Leonard. Let's give this Nuggets team one more season. So in Donovan Mitchell's 3rd season with the team, it's him, Jamal Murray, Otto Porter, Zach Randolph, who's very old at this point, Nikola Jokic, Gary Harris, and then we brought in Oubre, Malik Beasley. We still got Wilson Chandler. It's a decent squad. This is still before the Aaron Gordon trade, which I'm not sure what happened in this alternate reality. I think this is the team that wins the title for Denver. They don't even need to wait till 2023. So we went 63-19 in the regular season. Jokic gets an early MVP here. And of course, an All-NBA first team. Scoring actually pretty down for our Nuggets this year. All right, well, against the New Orleans Pelicans, that featured Ja Morant and Klay Thompson in alternate reality with Anthony Davis, that's a tough battle. That's actually a team that I don't understand how they're the 8th seed, but we sweep them. Chris Paul, Blake Griffin Clippers going a year later. I think this is also going to be kind of a sweepsies. Yep, Los Angeles Lakers rolling with their D'Lo, Brandon Ingram, Julius Randle, young kid squad. I think this is also going to be quite an overmatched team. We win in 7 though. And the 76ers in the finals, which means we get the Joel Embiid versus Nikola Jokic matchup. I think we all wanted a couple seasons ago. And an alternate reality where Ben Simmons' back doesn't give out and his brain keeps working. And the Sixers end up beating us. So back-to-back finals losses. Maybe the Nuggets would have traded Jamal Murray for a more defensive-oriented guard, because when they won the chip, they had Caldwell Pope, who was a great defender that year. Maybe this would have been too much offense, too little defense, pairing Murray, Jokic, and Mitchell together. But let's go to the next what if. The year is now 2014. LeBron James is a free agent leaving the Miami Heat. He signs with the Golden State Warriors, and nobody thinks it's like cheating or bandwagon, because the Warriors are coming off a first-round loss to the Clippers. This isn't the juggernaut team we all thought they were. They signed Steve Kerr, they signed and trade Iguodala away, they clear Harrison Barnes for cap space, and we end up with this team: Stephen Curry, LeBron James, Klay Thompson, Andrew Bogut, Draymond Green, Festus Ezeli, Sean Livingston. For some reason, Barbosa's a 71 overall. This dude was cooking people back then. How was he a 71? I'm pretty sure this team is going to dominate the NBA for years to come. This might be the greatest team ever assembled, and we lose our first game. We lose 2 of our first 3 as I say that. But combining the defensive IQ of LeBron James, Draymond Green, with his playmaking and the shooting of Curry and Thompson behind him, I don't know how anyone would stop this team. We went 70-12. Blake Griffin MVP. Jokic Rookie of the Year on the Magic. Okay. Very balanced scoring. LeBron 24.5. Curry 24.3. Klay Thompson 21.2. Just a dominant team. LeBron shooting almost 60% with all the spacing around him. I feel so bad for Radoslav Jovanovic. I just feel bad for the teams that are about to play against this team. We win in 7. Holy. Somehow we're playing the Sacramento Kings, and this team is rolling with DeMarcus Cousins. Kawhi Leonard signed there. I'm really curious what kind of like cheating they did to get Kawhi Leonard, but still not afraid of that team. All right, bro. Dude, 2K. The Kings won the championship over the Hornets. I just wanted to make a fun video about NBA history, and 2K has to ruin it. All right, let's pretend that didn't happen. Now we're in the year where the Warriors actually set the win record at 73-9 with Curry, Klay Thompson. But we'll see if they can actually break their win record now that they've added LeBron James to the team. If they can't win this year, then I no longer think LeBron is the GOAT. They're actually doing very bad, and they are not going to break the win record. Only 57 wins for this Warriors team, which is just abysmal. No all-NBA first team guys. We got Curry on the second team, LeBron on the second team. Oh, what just happened, man? We're the freaking 3 seed. Curry 26 a game, LeBron 25 a game, Klay 25 a game. 2K boosted Klay Thompson up to a 94 overall, and this team now has 3 guys that high rated, and we still sucked. And somehow Draymond Green stuck at 83. Well, we are going to sweep the Lakers in the first round, going against the Minnesota Timberwolves. Here, Trey Burke, Lou Will, Marvin Williams, Kevin Love, and Andre Drummond. Just a 2-headed giant type team. That's a sweep for the Warriors. Okay, we're doing better in the playoffs this year than last year. Thunder. This would be the battle. Westbrook, Harden, Durant. Oh my God, they kept Harden. Randolph, Ibaka. Holy cow, this would be the battle. And OKC would take that unbelievably. They didn't take it in real life. They almost did though. And the Hornets win the chip. Dwayne Wade averaging 35 a game. What is happening? What is happening? This is breaking my brain. This Hornets team is Dwayne Wade, Darren Collison, Terrence Ross. 2K. I'm trying to make a nice video here. Let's go to a different what if. This one is cursed. Yep, I wanted to go here. I've always thought this was a fun what if. What if the Sixers did choose Jimmy Butler over Tobias Harris?
Tobias Harris over me?
Also, I kind of forgot this was the same year they signed Al Horford. That's like a disaster offseason for the Sixers. They let Jimmy Butler go, and they brought in Al Horford, who was so bad, they had to send him to OKC to just let him die before he revived his career with the Celtics. In this reality, though, we're winding back the clocks. Ben Simmons was still a good basketball player. Joel Embiid is awesome. Not MVP level yet, but he's awesome. Jimmy Butler was the best player in the Eastern playoffs this season. This team is actually pretty well-rounded, all things considered. Starting 5, Ben Simmons, Josh Richardson, Jimmy Butler, Al Horford, and Joel Embiid. Now, obviously, we know this pairing of Horford and Embiid does not work, but it is what they started the year with, so we're not going to make a move with Al Horford until the trade deadline. So we're going to go to February 5th. And I think this team should be pretty good, man. I mean, they were really good with Jimmy Butler. They were very, very, very close to beating the Toronto Raptors, who ended up winning the chip, if you remember. Literally came down to this shot. And in retrospect, Kawhi Leonard's a cheater, so I don't know what else to say. Maybe that Sixers team could have also benefited from Durant and Klay getting hurt. Okay, they weren't going to win the chip. But with the Miami Heat version of Jimmy Butler, I think this team could have gone pretty far. 37 and 16 at the trade deadline, an amazing record, but somehow only 4th in the conference. But we know in real life that the Al Horford pairing did not work, so let's just see if anyone's offering to help us out here. Serge Ibaka, but we have to give up a first. I think that'd be worth it. All right, so Ben Simmons, Jimmy Butler, Glenn Robinson, Serge Ibaka, Joel Embiid. Pretty solid team. Can they win the chip? This team going against the Lakers would be really interesting because I felt like the Lakers, when they had Anthony Davis going, they really never faced a big that Anthony Davis couldn't just torch. Nikola Jokic wasn't a great defender. Bam Adebayo was a little too short. And I feel like Embiid would give AD a lot more problems than those guys. So I'm curious if we meet that Lakers team in the finals. So somehow Ben Simmons is our All-NBA first team guy. Joel Embiid makes second team. No Jimmy Butler on an All-NBA team. We're the #1 seed. Embiid 28 a game. Simmons 23 a game. Butler 22 a game. Butler's not doing a lot for us. What the heck? I might have to hit Simmons with that Nerf stick. All right. In round 1, we're going against the Nets. I feel like the Nets and the Sixers play in round 1 constantly. This looks like an easy matchup for the Sixers though. Sixers sweep going against Cleveland. Sixers sweep the Cavs. Going against Boston Celtics. They've got Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum, and this alternate reality, they have Trae Young. That's a battle. Trae Young could get in Ben Simmons' head and probably mess him up for life, but we'll see what happens. And the Celtics still managed to beat the Sixers. Wow, that's the weirdest matchup. Jimmy Butler gets in the Celtics' head, the Celtics get into Butler's head, and we get a Celtics-Lakers final. And the Lakers still win the chip. LeBron James wins in that 2020 bubble. All right, let's give this team one more season. I feel like there's a title in them. All right, we'll have the Sixers draft Tyrese Maxey like they do in real life. So Sixers come back next year, reload their bench. We got Joe Ingles in the starting lineup now to get some shooting and some spacing in there, some basketball IQ. Ben Simmons, Butler, Ibaka, and beat around Joe Ingles. Yeah, he's the centerpiece. Still got Thibault, Trey Burke, McConnell, and now Fareed coming off the bench. I feel like this team should be pretty damn good. So in real life, this Sixers team went 49 and 23, which doesn't sound very good, but it was actually first in the Eastern Conference somehow. A very non-dominant 1 seed. And they ended up losing to the Atlanta Hawks. This was the year Ben Simmons didn't dunk the ball when he honestly really should have. And now in this alternate reality, we are headed for that 1 seed and way better than 49 and 23. Joel Embiid wins the MVP here in this alternate reality. He makes the All-NBA first team. The team finishes 70 and 12. No way. Embiid 28, Butler 24, Simmons 22. A really good trifecta. A lot of really good defensive from these 3 guys. Let's see what happens here. Playing Chicago Bulls. This is going to be a sweep. We don't need to see who's there. Detroit Pistons. I'm curious who's there. Darius Garland, a young Garland. Tobias Harris. Oh, we can still get the tunnel clip of Jimmy Butler saying Tobias Harris. Although Jimmy Butler never played for the Pistons. That's another sweep. Boston Celtics, again, the terrorizer team. They got Trae Young in place of what was Kyrie Irving. Feel like this should be a win for the Sixers, but let's see what happens. Wow, win in 7, the Jimmy Butler edge, and we're going against the Sacramento Kings with Luka Doncic and Russell Westbrook and Nikola Jokic. Bro, what the hell is happening when I'm simulating these games? Do I need to turn off computer-to-computer trades? I don't even know if that would be a good team. All right, in game 1, Sixers take it. Game 2, Sixers take it. Game 3, they lose it. Game 4, they lose it. Game 5, they lose it. Game 6, they win it. Game 7, can the Sixers win the championship? Can Ben Simmons win a championship? Can Jimmy Butler take these guys and give them the edge they needed to win the championship? It doesn't look like it. They're gonna lose. In the Jokic versus Embiid battle, they don't win it. But when I was Jokic, we lost it too. A lot of these what ifs end up with these guys playing in the finals. Let's get to our final what if. And that is what if Derrick Rose had injuries turned off? So this is when Derrick Rose got hurt. Game 1 of the 2011 NBA playoffs. Granted, they were playing the Sixers in the first round. We were playing the New York Knicks. This Bulls team was saucy. Rose, Dang, Boozer, Jakeem Noah. Jimmy Butler as a rookie was not that good, but 2K has him at a 79. Might have to bump him down a little bit. But this team was physical. This team was tough. As a Heat fan, I hated when we had to play against them. Also a little Kyle Korver action. So if Derrick Rose never got hurt, we beat the Knicks in 6. Pacers in round 2. This is the young Paul George Pacers team. Tyler Hansbrough, Roy Hibbert. I don't think they'd have enough scoring to go against us. We sweep them. Now, unfortunately, the Heat lost somehow to the Wizards. Bro, So the Heat have LeBron James, Chris Bosh. Did they get rid of Dwayne Wade? I'm sorry, what? So Dwayne Wade gets hurt in the alternate reality. Heat lose a round. Bulls get this opportunity against the Wizards, which they win 4-1. And we get the Bulls Thunder series that would have been pretty hype. This would be tough for the Bulls if they had Harden still, which they did this year. But I'll take Derrick Rose over Russell Westbrook at this time easily. Kevin Durant's scary though. And the Bulls end up winning, the much more physically tough team. Thank you guys for watching. If you guys enjoyed this video, leave a like below. Let me know if you want me to do a rebuild off of any of these or do a video with 5 more NBA what ifs. I think this was a lot of fun. It was really interesting. 2K is trying its hardest to make it not right, which is kind of annoying, but still fun nonetheless. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.